Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Let Me Ask You This. We're on lucky episode 18. 18 really isn't a lucky number, but in this day and age, we need luck. 2020 has been a really shitty year. God damn, it's been shitty. Um, so today I have with me my buddy Johnny again, and we are going to be talking about the turmoil in America. And when I say turmoil, I mean pretty much everything negative that's going on right now, and how it comes to Black Lives Matter and maybe even a little Antifa and the riots that happen and the protests and all that fun stuff because it's 2020 and that's what's going on right now. So why not talk about it? Johnny, how you doing today?
I'm alright about you.
I can't complain. I got my health. I haven't got the COVID. I'm alive,
Hmm. I actually had a household member of mine that had it before, so
but he's good, right?
yeah, he's good now. I didn't catch it. I was eating dinner with him every single night, and I still didn't catch it.
And see, that's what amazes me because somebody in your house had COVID, right? And you didn't catch it. And everybody's like, I completely understand why people are freaking out about COVID and everything, but I understand it's a real thing. It's a real virus. Older people can die from it, and it can be extremely dangerous to people that have pre-existing health conditions. But when it has a 99% recovery rate, I don't know why we're freaking out so much. And like the CDC doesn't really know how to react to it. And I guess that's why we're freaking out. Like it makes sense because we don't know how to react, right?
It it's just I think it's overhyped. That's all it is. It's usually just overhyped with a lot of these things now. There's a lot of people saying it's about control now, and I honestly think that because now soon what they're saying there's some other type of virus now that's hitting the world coming from China once again, and they're saying it's gonna hit the United States. It's like you guys just making this up now to try to keep people home.
See, and like when it comes to that, there are conspiracy theorists out there that do believe that all these viruses that are coming and like coronavirus, it was man-made and it was made by the New World Order. I don't know if you've heard about them, but it's basically a group of people that wants the world to be run by one government. And it's really interesting. Um, One, it would never work. You can't govern the whole world population with one government. Is it happening now? I don't know. I'm not part of the 1% that knows. But we're not here to talk about COVID. I'm happy that your family member is doing better. Um, but anyways, so let's start with the first thing that's pretty much happened. It's all these protests, right? And I'm all for the First Amendment. I am all for every amendment that we have because they protect our rights. We have rights as American citizens, and everybody at first was trying to take away the Second Amendment, right? But you need the Second Amendment to protect the First Amendment. Is would you agree with that, Johnny?
I think you kind of need a Second Amendment to protect all amendments.
That is another good point. Yeah, you need the Second Amendment to protect all amendments, and I'm all for the movement Black Lives Matters to a point. When when you start rioting and destroying buildings, that's where I draw the line. Um,
Yeah, but that is not Black Lives Matter that's doing it. It's usually just other people doing
but it comes from
it. It
those
kind of
protests.
feel their way into the movement.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying that the police are starting the riot, and like I've seen videos of peaceful protests and police just completely pepper spraying people, and but
I also think this might be okay, from an everyday person, every person's day standard. What happens if you just basically got shit on every single day, and eventually, now a lot of people snap. That's when they usually say that's what causes shooters and everything.
yep,
Police now have been completely villainized in our country.
yeah.
Now, and would you agree that with what do you think's gonna happen if we had no law and order, no police officers on the streets? What do you think's gonna happen?
But we saw it in Chad's or Chop, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and it looks
Two
terrible.
people were killed. Well,
See,
one person was killed, one person
Chicago,
was
lately,
injured.
Chicago is a nightmare right now.
Yeah,
No, it's just little kids getting shot left and right.
yep, yeah.
Some people,
That happened over
some
Fourth
people
of
say,
July.
oh, well, it wasn't done on purpose. It wasn't done on purpose. No, nobody should be taking a gun out and shooting anyone else on purpose.
No, guns are made for protection. If your life is in danger, that's the only time you should have a gun out.
Now, this is coming from me too, and I will definitely say the cops are very important. This has come from me. You've known me for a long time. I don't. I'm not someone that a lot of people know me that have great relationship with police officers.
No, you are definitely not a bootlicker. Not at all.
No, and no, people say, well, to keep profiling and everything, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think profiling is something everyone does, including police officers. Should they conduct all their job around profiling? No, they shouldn't, but it still happens. And no, for me, I've been profiled a lot. No, if we were just to go by half the names I've been called based off people's thoughts on my appearance, profiling me by that. There's a lot. When I walk by a cop with next to some other white guy, they usually just stare at me. I'm covered in tattoos. It looks like I just got out of prison. No, I understand this. I don't care about it. If everyone stopped getting so sensitive about it, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But no, they keep getting too sensitive about it. And no, I'm just saying I understand why cops do it. I understand. No, how many people you think I'm racist based off my appearance?
A lot.
Exactly, a whole lot. I get dirty looks when I walk through any type of store and everything. No, it doesn't matter. It's just something I accept now. It's like whatever. Some
And I
people.
know you, and you know me. We are the most least racist people.
You
Like,
want to know what was funny is when people accuse me of being a Nazi. Because when
d-
you actually get to know me, how fucking anti-fascist I am.
yeah, I was the same way, and but they didn't see the group of kids that we hung out with, like in school. Like, I don't really hang out with people now, but like in school, we were a very diverse group of people.
The first two friends I made at Central that did not come from me from my hometown were not white.
Yep.
No, that's the main thing I remember. But yeah, that no, people kind of ignore that when it comes to my appearance. Now, when we talk about statistics and everything, people get all sensitive about it because now this is what people say. Oh, well, those statistics are made up. Those statistics are fake. You know, now I'm talking about when the people show that well, blacks are responsible for most of the crime in this country. Now that kind of way, is there any way for us to actually know? Because it seems like all evidence is kind of fake now. You kind of, that's why I want people to start using their eyes. Use your
Yeah.
eyes, use your ears. Stop listening to all these fucking news stations and stop listening to it because a lot of them are biased.
Yep.
No,
Because like a lot of
these
people.
these are the only fucking things that are benefiting right now because they keep amping everything up.
Yep. And like I don't know if you saw it, but there's been a lot more citizen reporters. So citizen reporters are just normal people like you and me, and they go out and they report the news, and they post it on YouTube, they post it on Facebook, and people see it. They're reporters, and a lot of them were going around to these protests, and they were like, "Hey, who's placing all these bricks everywhere? Like, why are there piles of bricks at these protests?" They are like, and the media wasn't covering it, like the real media, because they fuel the fire. And that's one of the main problems that I believe we have is people listen too much and they don't look with their own eyes. They they see what they are told to see. And people don't form their own opinion. And that's what's tearing this country apart. Everybody thinks, "Oh, the media said that every white person's racist. So every white person has to be racist." Fuck, I'm white. I have to be racist. That's what the media is telling us. But it doesn't work like that. Not every white person you see is racist. Not every black person you see is a thug. Not every Asian you see is good at math. Like, these are stereotypes that we've been fed our whole lives that people need to understand that it's not true. And all these people that go with Black Lives Matter, like the far Black Lives Matter, like you know how there's like a far right and a far left, and there's also a far Black Lives Matter that people aren't talking about, and those people are the ones that believe every cop in the United States are terrible people. Every white person in the United States is racist. Every white person in the world is racist, and it's not like that. Not every white person is racist. They get fed these lies, and nobody listens. Everybody's just like, well, nobody listens to normal people, and that's what's tearing us apart.
I heard somewhere that no, this actually kind of pisses me off because I was hearing this somewhere. And what do you think of the term white privilege?
So when I personally hear white privilege, I think of the 1% that have kids who paid their way through college and cheated through college. That's what I think of white privilege. Do I have white privilege? No, I was born middle class. Like I before before I have my current job, I I was on a road into a very dark place. I wasn't going places.
Yeah,
I
no,
had to dig myself out of a hole. And anybody can do the job I do. And I'm not supposed to preach the job I do, but if you heard me say it before, you know what I do. And even in my career field, yes, there is probably a little racism,
I
but
think something that's always going to be around, and I think that because I think racism, believe it or not, is actually part of human nature. I think there's always going to be people that are a little bit racist, a little bit
but
biased.
but in my career field, it depends on how you look at it
Exactly.
because I've seen black people get the upper hand in my career field and white people not. But I've also seen it flipped. So it's very and like it's the same thing with sexism in my career field. I've seen women get the upper hand a lot, but then I've also seen it flipped and everybody just hate on the women. It's a very confusing system that is running my job. But and like I'm not hating on it and I'm just saying what I see. And it's good. We've been trying hard to fix it. They have been. They ask us for opinions all the time. They ask us what they can do to be better, and it's just them trying to find that equal balance. And that's what's so hard in human life is trying to find that equal balance that everybody is equal. And because how it's very hard to treat everybody equal because what is equal? That's the thing. That's what I see it as. What is
If you want to look at equality, I always tell people I think the biggest mistake, uh, like the human race, is that we forget that we're part of the animal kingdom.
yep.
What type of equality do you see in the animal kingdom? Come on, there is no. The lion eats the zebra. No, there is no equality. That's the thing, and I think that's something that no. That's why I think the racism part. I think humans are always going to be struggling with. It's just a simple. It's less and less, but I think it's something that's always going to be around us. And the simple fact is, for so many years, growing up and everything, I hardly ever heard about it.
Yep.
No, I didn't hear my parents talk about it and everything. It seemed to increase throughout time, and now, and I honestly think it's because people are more sensitive now to this thing. Uh, but the
No,
main,
no, no. And that's what we're here for. We're here for opinions.
but
And I also agree that people are a little bit more sensitive now. But like some of the things that they're doing, I agree with. Like,
and the main reason why I'm bringing up the white privilege thing is because I'm not sure if I heard that, but I actually heard a statistic like only around 30% of Black Lives Matter is actually black.
yep, no, I've so
Now,
you can actually see that in the videos that people post.
and that's what's pissing me off here is that now you think you see more black people pissed off about it. It's kind of showing, the people I see in the front, you want to know something, they're the ones that are always for the white privilege and saying, oh, yeah, all this is going, you want to know something? A lot of the people I see preaching about this, they had a completely different childhood than us. A lot of times they were actually had money in their pocket. Now, my family has always been struggling to get by. No, it's a never ending thing. And another thing about the white privilege thing, they always say, well, going back to the profiling with police and everything. Oh, well, if you're white, you can walk by a cop and they won't think you're doing anything. But if you're the black guy, no. And what I was saying about me, I blew that right out of the fucking water. It I didn't realize about a lot of that type of stuff until I got older and started getting a job, and I realized how much of a little peckerhead I was back in high school. Back when I was a punk rocker and everything, and I was always like, "Fuck the police," and now I actually realize, the things I have now, and the same times I kind of owe that to police because I help keep order. There's a lot of bad cops out there, but there's even more good cops out there.
Yeah, see, and that's like, so I saw this post the other day, and it's like all because you have 10 bad cops and 20 good cops, that means you have, in the 20 good cops don't add on the 10 bad cops. Now you have 30 bad cops.
You want to know why? You want to know why people are saying that? Because the person who made that and the people that are agreeing with it are so close fucking minded. It's like insulting to intelligence. It really is. Now, to think that no, you have no wiggle room. By the way, it's not actual personal police officers that investigate dirty cops.
Yep.
Isn't that? Wait a minute, I think we have a word for it. Isn't that called like internal affairs?
Yep.
Yeah. So all the people out there that do watch this and they'll say, "Oh, well, you're for Blue Lives Matter." How don't you do some fucking research before you actually start making accusations against every single police officer out there? I've met, I've only been truly harassed by one cop that I really did not deserve it. The rest of the cops that bother me in public areas, I had to fucking come. But no, somehow they were actually nice enough not to put my ass in cuffs. It's the only reason why I don't have a fucking police record.
And like you said, people watching this going to think, oh, like they think blue lives matter. I don't think that. Being a police is a job, just like being in the military. We signed up for it,
Yeah,
and we know what's on the line. Like, yes, all lives matter. That's because everybody lives matter. But I understand this is why I'm behind the Black Lives Matter movement, but not extremely behind it, is because the Black Lives Matter movement isn't saying only Black Lives Matter, and that's what the far is saying, like the extremists are saying. Um, but the original movement, Black Lives Matter, means they are equal to all the other lives, and I understand that, and that is what I am for. I want to see equality. It's going to be a hell of a road to get there because we don't know what equality is, and
I
that's a big
I
thing.
don't think we're going to be able to reach that point because the issue is with a lot of liberals, and I'm not even talking about the real people that are really far, and a lot of things with conservatives and the right. I mean, once again, I'm talking about this the average that people that just wiggle over that line that say no, that classifies them. The problem is that the majority of them, as soon as they're for, oh yeah, I'm for freedom of speech and everything, but as soon as you disagree with them, they get fucking hostile.
Yeah, and that's the problem. People don't value other people's opinions, and that is like one of the main things that we need to listen to each other, and
I don't think
that's how we understand each other.
I don't think that's gonna happen. And even in the past, no, and no, I definitely think when it comes to politics, I usually don't talk about them too much, especially around a lot of people. No, I usually classify as an independent. I really don't really have many views about a lot of that type of stuff. Now, but yeah, that no, when I start talking to people, as soon as I disagree with them on one thing, they that's when the accusations come out and they start calling me, well, you're just a fucking racist or some shit like that, and it's kind of like, okay, well, race had nothing to do with the subject.
Yep.
And a lot of times I don't even I don't argue on Facebook anymore because when I'm arguing with someone on Facebook, that's the first thing they fucking jump to because they go to my profile picture or something, they look at me, oh, he's probably a fucking Nazi, and they just throw that at me. It's like really, it's like I can't fucking argue with you guys because one, you bring no facts to the fucking table.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and it's not just liberals when I say this; it's fucking conservatives too. They bring up the same fucking shit. No, they like, well, no, they're just a fucking snowflake.
Yeah.
It,
No.
it,
So,
it's literally like one side calls you a Nazi, the other side calls you a fucking snowflake. It's like how the fuck is this supposed to work? So it's like pointless
and that's
argument.
the thing. And that's another reason why I don't think anybody ever is. That's why we're not going to get over this racist hump. Is because the conservatives and the Democrats and the Republicans in the news media, this triangle that we have, they want to keep us divided because that's how they maintain the power that they have.
It's also how they make money.
Yes, and that's also how they make money. Because if
Yeah,
we're divided, we're just going to keep voting these terrible people in, and that's how everything in the news media makes so much money off us being divided because they can sit there and they just spell all this bullshit that doesn't matter and just they control us and it's terrible.
I hope I don't get no avalanche over this, but when so like from you or anything, but no, it really pissed me off about when these people are out burning down random buildings and talking about like tear down America, tear down the government. You wanna know what really fucking drove me nuts about that? They're burning down these private businesses.
Yes.
Not a single major corporation, not a single fucking bank,
No,
not
they tried to burn down Target.
oh well, it's fucking Target. Target is in the fucking Illuminati. What the fuck is this? Fucking Target, man. They the cause of all the fucking problems. No, but not a single bank. Wall Street wasn't attacked. None of that fucking shit. Nothing major was actually attacked. What the fuck is burning down a private bar that an African American man busted his ass to fucking build up that because that was his dream, and they looted and fucking burned down the place. What the fuck does that show everyone? Honestly, when I heard that was actually pretty hurtful to me because I one day I want to own my own business and everything. That's what I truly do want. And I heard this guy talk. Though he busted his ass to fucking get this, and it was just taken away from him in like a blink of an eye.
Yeah,
And it wasn't from the
that's one of the
government.
reasons why I don't believe in the looting. Like, well,
Well, no,
that's why I
no,
don't believe in the looting. Not one of the reasons, but I don't believe in the looting and burning down buildings because I get it. Like, people are angry about all of it, but even Martin Luther King was not for this. He
no,
was not for looting. He was not for burning places down. He was for a peaceful protest. No matter what they threw at them, no matter how much they hit them with the water hoses, they, excuse me, they always came back with a peaceful protest. And it's found different ways to do a peaceful protest.
and what did they do when he died? They rioted.
Yep.
And I'm just thinking how much of a fucking insult to his memory that is.
Yep.
And no, once again, I see shit like popping up that should not be popping up. Like, why do people always praise Malcolm X?
So I think they I think they praise Malcolm X now because he was a extremist and that's what people think that we need. Now, Malcolm X didn't stand for he wanted segregation. He didn't think whites and blacks should be together. He didn't want to be equal to whites. He wanted to be above whites.
Yeah, which is by book racism.
Yes, I'm not going to say anything. Yes, it is by book racism. Um, and I think I didn't learn that in school. I had to learn that on my own. What what I learned in school was Malcolm X was part of the Black Panthers, and the Black Panthers just didn't want racism. That's what I learned in school. So I think it's just people not being educated. That's that's what I think.
Especially saying that me and you hung out in school. On average, school teachers are liberally biased.
Yes,
They there was a few good teachers in school that were either open-minded or they were conservative, but they weren't far right conservative. And no, that is where a lot of these problems come in because no, you can't create a good mindset if that mindset is only learning from one side.
correct.
And I grew up, I definitely had an interesting childhood. But near that, no, I grew up so I'm gonna be soft. I can say that. But near that, I had opinions from all kinds of different people growing up. Now, liberals, conservatives, hardcore religious people. Now, for all of you people out there saying that all Christians are the same, that's a lie, and I'm not a Christian. Uh, I'm actually pretty hardcore in paganism. And a lot of people always a lot of people used to say that about me, that I was anti-Christian. A lot of people used to say that about me. I'm not. And now I'm seeing a lot of stuff. They're being anti-religious now too, and they're saying that it always leads to racism. Have you heard that?
Yep.
And the thing is that they always say this, but you want to know something? I've met, especially the very polite people in the black community I've met in the like stores and stuff that have asked me questions. You want to know something? They were Christian. They're Christian and they were very polite. They were just wanting to ask me a couple questions and everything about this. About no, because no, they looked at me and they get no, and if I have a tank top on, you know I have religious tattoos and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that they just asked me a question about it. No, and no, it really blows my mind that they think that some of these people are trying to spit out at that saying that Christianity is this leads to racism. Now, I don't think it's right, and I totally forgot what I was saying, but yeah, that no, I don't think it's right, and I think it's another thing that people have been pushing since we were in high school.
Yeah.
No, how much about any type of religion did we learn in high school?
None, but I think that's how it should be.
Yeah, but you want to know something? They always push other things that we
Yep.
shouldn't have to learn. No, and I think even when you don't want to learn about something, but that you're raised to be against it, I think you need to be educated on what you're against.
Yeah, so I'm not a very religious person,
Yeah,
but I've always found religious interesting. So whenever I meet somebody of a new religion, I ask them all sorts of questions about the religion. And that's because when it comes to certain religions, I'm very ignorant about it. I don't know anything about it.
yeah,
And
I think a lot of people are, and when people are ignorant about it, they don't understand it, and they don't, and maybe they can't comprehend anything out of it. They just trash it.
yeah, but no, I like learning about it. That's what I do. I like learning. I like learning new things, especially if it's about the human life. But we're getting a little bit off topic. Let's move on to Antifa, and
Um,
yeah, and let's
what
talk about
do you think they are?
who do I think they are.
Yeah. Do you think
I
they're a
think they
movement,
are a
organization? What do you think they are?
I think they are a righteous group that has no idea what they're talking about.
My, well, I have a family member that says they're not really a movement or organization, but they see them as more of a network because no, they're kind of not organized, and yes, there are always these fucking people that saying they're like tear down America. One, as soon as I see that, no, this in my mind, I register them as a terrorist
Yep, because
because
there are such thing as domestic terrorists.
yeah, no, I think people kind of forgot about that, especially people when I know being in the military. No, don't you take an oath to fight against foreign and domestic enemies?
Yes, yes.
So no, I don't know why these guys have not been dealt with. Maybe because no, they're so much of a joke that no, everyone knows they're not going to do anything.
So
Yeah,
I look at Antifa the same way I look at the Proud Boys.
oh yeah, the Proud Boys. Yeah, the
Yeah,
guy that made those guys. Yeah, well, that guy's a laughing stock.
yeah. They're both just ridiculous groups that shouldn't be around. They're I don't agree with racism. So the Proud Boys are just retarded. Like if you are
I
racist,
I
I'm
hear so many
sorry.
things
You
about
lost
them.
all my respect.
Yeah, I hear so many different things about them, man. It's the guy that made them is he has some funny stuff. He's kind of interesting, but over the at the end of the day, I kind of like register him as a jackass.
Well, yeah, he started a fucking racist organization. What do you expect? Of course he's a
More
jackass.
of like it's more of like a gang, but it's like a jockey gang. Believe it or not, it's fucking weird.
Like, man, I can't wear my black and gold Fred Perry out in public without
You're
getting
a
bad.
proud
My,
boy.
huh?
Someone thinking you're a proud boy.
Yeah. So like, I wore my Fred Perry out to a concert one time, and this guy walked up to me. He was like, "Hey, man, you a fucking Proud Boy?" I was like, "Fuck no!" Like, I like Fred Perry, and this was the only color I had right now. Like, the fuck? And he was like, "Good man, because if you're a Proud Boy, I have to kick your ass." And I was like, "You're like four times the size of me, so I wouldn't doubt it." But like, nope, not a Proud Boy. He was like, good, because we don't deal with racists here. And I was like, good.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Then you have to explain. That's probably get a lot of trouble for that. Yeah, beat the shit out of a guy for wearing a Pacific shirt.
Yeah.
What
Well, because the Proud Boys colors are black and gold, and they wear Fred Perry's.
doesn't fucking matter?
So like, I don't wear it anymore because I don't want to be associated with them. So
Fucking wear it though. Those shirts are fucking expensive.
yeah, they are.
We just wear it around the house.
But no, I look at them the same way, and
Antifa.
I think both groups are terrible groups. Um,
Do you think Antifa is in charge of a lot of the rioting going on?
yes.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. I don't think a lot of times I don't think they're the ones actually like basically what the hell's the word? I don't think they're the ones actually being active in like the riots and everything, but I think they're kind of like pushing it
Yep.
because I don't know. Have you ever met someone that was like for Antifa?
No.
Yeah, I've met one like in public, and I forget what the hell he said something, and I just typical me. I just yelled, "Shut the fuck up!" But but neither that. No, they're kind of pathetic because he didn't even say anything back to me. He just kind of walked away, and it was like, yeah, see, I'm like fucking weak-minded, and you have like this view, but you don't have the fucking balls to even push it. But neither that, no, I just find them to be a very weak-minded group, and they're gonna keep on trying to push stuff. And another thing about the riots that's been pissing me off, and I think it's basically media that's kind of like pushing it, is they're trying to say the people that are really starting these fires are white supremacists. I don't know if you've heard that.
I've heard a little, but
Want me to speculate on what I'm hearing, basically. And I've seen videos. Yes, it was a white guy in a hoodie or something. No, they have a couple videos because well, all these guys are wearing masks right now. But near that, no, when they're doing it, they think, oh, they see one little thing that's white, and they say, oh, it's a white supremacist trying to cause propaganda or something like that. That's what I've been hearing. And it's just kind of like, wow, this is more manufactured racism. The
yep.
divide. That's all I've been seeing. It's really sad because when I was a kid, I didn't register this, and now as an adult, now why they trying to divide us so much? I just don't get it.
Because that's how they maintain control.
I yeah, I just hope pretty soon that everyone kind of pulls their head out of their ass. You want to know another thing I've noticed about Black Lives Matter? A lot of the money that they raise do not go back into the black communities.
Nope.
They go to white rich Democrats.
Yep.
If I was a black,
I
if
can't I
I,
can't talk too much about that.
yeah,
But
yeah, no,
yeah.
but yeah, that, I just want to say, no, if I was part of the black community, how do you think I would feel about that? I'd be fucking pissed.
Mm-hmm.
That's just insulting, though. That all this money could be going to these guys who fucking need it, and no, these assholes are fucking taking it.
Yeah.
No, that's how politicians work. They use people.
And that's so what I can say is for all my young viewers that just turned 18 this year and people who don't really vote, get out there and vote. Know who you're voting for. If don't vote for the lesser of the two evil. There is always somebody out there that is better. And all because you do a write-in, it's not throwing your vote away. It's you're still voting, so you can still complain. If you don't vote, I don't like to hear you complain because you didn't even try to change anything. And when I say vote, I don't mean just vote for presidency. You need to vote for the people in your community. You need to go to your community elections to vote. And it starts small and then it gets bigger. And that's how our government is built. It all because you change the top person doesn't mean the bottom people change. And that's one thing that people don't understand is all because you don't like the president doesn't control everything. The president doesn't control the cops on your street. And that's the problem. People aren't voting locally, and we need to vote locally. And the people who do vote locally, they just keep getting the same way that they want. But the people who are complaining about it, they're not voting. So nothing's changing. So know who you're voting for. Don't vote for the lesser of the two evils, and maybe we can change something. It's that simple. Like, since I've turned 18, I've voted every year. I voted every time I could vote because that's my right as an American citizen, and you guys have that right too. And we need more people to know that.
But don't you know the system's rigged? That's why everyone says that doesn't vote.
If the system's rigged, then don't complain. Fix the system.
Because if the system's rigged, how the fuck did Trump win? Because I thought so many people thought he was so bad and didn't vote for him.
I mean, so how I look at it, I'm not saying I'm for Trump. I'm not saying I'm against Trump. I'm neutral. Nobody liked Trump on the Democrats. Nobody liked Trump on the Republican side. Nobody liked Trump in the media, but he still won.
Yeah, this is because a lot of the silent majority that no are kind of don't get a word in. That's because they went down and voted for him. No,
In
they kind of wanted somebody who was so fucking. I think they're just. I think a lot of the silent majority, and the silent majority of this country is definitely the majority you usually do want to listen to, because I think they're just kind of growing sick of people's shit.
yep,
Oh, because a lot of times it's the silent majority that gets pissed all over it, and that's usually the working class.
yep,
No, nobody gives a shit about them. So, what one thing I do know about this country that I do fucking hate about this country is that there's a lot of freeloaders in this country. They want free shit.
nothing's free in life.
Yeah, nothing's free. What's happening is that people who go to work every day, bust their ass, and pay taxes. That's how they're getting their free shit,
Yep,
and it's insulting to the silent majority, the working class. So yeah, I can definitely see why they're getting pissed off. And now I keep hearing all these thoughts on revolution and everything. No, I'm going to tell you right now, pretty if they actually say they're going to do what they're going to do, come for everybody, all these fucking white people that they keep saying that they're going to keep coming for, I don't know what the hell that's all about. Because the silent majority of white people are really responsible for what's going on in this country. Yeah, but near that, no, when they say that, they're going to get really, really rude awakening because the Second Amendment's in place for a reason.
yep,
And and I don't want to hear someone come on stage while the people, like the people that just defended their big mansion. If if I was in their shoes, I would have done the same fucking thing. I would have went out there. Did you see the fence?
yeah,
Yeah, they fucking ran right through it.
yep.
By that, by
But see, I don't
that
want to
was
speak too much on
hostile.
this.
What?
Like, yes, it was private property they were on, right?
Yeah,
So they had the full rights to go out there with their weapons. But I don't know. I live right next to Missouri.
yeah,
So, like, yeah, I live right next to St. Louis. I live 20 minutes away from St. Louis. But I don't know their laws completely about self defense and all this stuff.
yeah.
So,
But they didn't harm anyone.
no, I know they didn't harm anyone. But if you watch the video, the wife, she had her finger on the trigger and she pointed the weapon at people. That is assault. And or attempt to assault. And I agree with that. You should not point a weapon at somebody unless if you intend to kill them. And
It was,
they did
yeah,
not.
it didn't really look like the wife knew what she was doing. She's like holding a gun like this.
Yeah, but she was pointing at people. Like, do I think they both need weapon training? Yes, yes, I do. I think they need all the weapon
Yeah, he
training.
didn't have his finger on the trigger. He didn't
No,
have his.
he didn't, but the wife did.
Yeah, well, maybe the wife should have went back inside, but neither that. All those people were criminally threatening them, trying to kill them and their dog.
See, like I'm not disagreeing with it, but I don't know enough about it. You know what
Well,
I mean?
by my opinion, in the whole assault law, one, I think that law is a load of shit because they didn't actually physically harm them. So
But
that law can kiss my ass.
but
But neither
you
that,
but
we have the Second Amendment for a reason.
But you've held a gun and you've shot a gun. You know how easy it is to accidentally pull a trigger.
Well, they should have not been on my property, and they should have not been criminally threatening me. It would be my opinion of it. That guy put two and two
Opinion.
together.
Yeah.
Where were all the police officers that we keep defunding that could have stopped that mob from trying to attack them? Those people would have had no need to go outside if no, we would stop criminalizing the police officers that had nothing to do with the act that happened. Now, that needs to stop. We need police officers. And I'm so sick of hearing people say, oh, no, we don't need. You know how many jackasses are on my friends list that act like they would survive if there were no cops? A lot of them. You want to know something? I damn well know in the first couple of days, somebody would kill their ass and take what they have because they're so weak-minded and act like, oh, being anti-cop is cool. The problem with this country and the problem with the youth, including people around our age, now I'm about 23 years old. You're about the same age as me, I believe.
I think.
But near that, there's a problem in this country. It's called a fucking fad. People take them way too far. A lot of these people out protesting and everything, they don't give a fuck about what it's for. They just want to be part of the group. And
Yep.
right now, one of these fads is being anti-cop.
I mean, so yes, that is a fad right now, but that has always being anti-cop has always been around. ACAB has been around for as
Oh
long
yeah,
as
well
I
the,
can
the punk
remember.
rockers and everything in the black community, they've been no. I can definitely see why no one because they'd be pissed off at cops. But
Yeah.
yeah, that no, I see a lot of white people saying that, and no. And the thing is, not once have I've heard black communities and everything, not personally, no. But yeah, that I've heard them talk about how they have problems with cops. Not once have I really heard them say we need to get rid of cops.
Cops.
It's only really recently until now that I keep hearing this, and it's causing problems. Now, the Second Amendment was also put in place so people could protect their homes, their families, and everything. And no, I think people forgot that, and that's exactly what those two were doing.
So it's the same group of people that want to defund the cops that want to get rid of our weapons.
Yeah, and you want what's funny? These Democrats are pushing for no all of this to happen, no defund the police and everything. They are hiring private security to
Yep.
protect them. So
Yep.
what? You're going to take away the citizens' right to have protection, but yet you get to walk around with a private security detail acting like you're fucking king shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're using taxpayers' dollars to fucking do it.
Mm-hmm. And
No,
that's what people need to wake up to. And this is why I like when one when one thing is rolling, they forget about what they were talking about yesterday. Yesterday they were talking about de-arming the American citizens, and today they're talking about taking away our cops. If they take away our cops and they take away our guns, what's going to stop them from completely taking over?
well, I would hope though the United States military would something to say about that. No, I really hope that, but you want to know something? No, there's always that chance that that might not work.
Yeah.
I do have to take that chance. And if they actually do try to take away the firearms, I really hope a lot of these people that act like they are going to do something stick to their fucking guns. And when they try to do it, we have to do what we got to do. But near that, no, I think a lot of people are forgetting with the Second Amendment. I think the people who try to go onto their property and assault those people, I think they should have no right to actually say, oh well, they have no right to do that. You have no right to damage their property, come onto their private property, and threatening to kill them and their dog.
Yeah.
I did hear the interview. That guy was on Fox News, by the way.
He was also on CNN.
You did go on CNN? I didn't
Yep.
know. Did you watch the CNN thing? What did you
Yeah, I
say?
watched the one on CNN.
How'd that go?
Okay, the CNN did their thing and tried to like make him look like a bad guy, but he was like they broke down a private property fence,
Yeah.
like they tore it apart.
I forget. Did he say he did have private security previously? Because
So they asked about his security system, and he was like, "I'm not talking about my private security on national television."
yeah, no.
And I was like, "What? Why not?" And he was like, "It's my private security." Like,
So, but did he say whether he had personnel?
no.
No, he didn't. Yeah, but neither that. Once again, you want to know something? The cops should have been there.
Yep.
No. And on top of that, here's another thing that's really been bothering me, especially in this country now, because they're saying defund the police. A lot of these protests, who the fuck do you see protecting these assholes? Police.
Yep.
What? You know how fucking degrading that must be to be a police officer and have to be there, and these guys are saying this person should lose their job, they should be prosecuted, they should be this, yada yada yada.
My favorite thing to see is a white person yelling at a black cop, telling him that he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. No, it honestly, I wish we would. I wish like these news stations would do some interviews with black cops.
Yep.
I want to see their opinion because I haven't. Every single time I see a fucking opinion, it's usually someone talking about evil white cops or something like that, or it's previously a cop that was white. I see black police officers all the time.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, don't you? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a daily thing. Now, I want to see their opinions on this matter. Now, because they're part of the black community and they're part of the police community. Now,
Yeah. They
why are
got
they
both
not
sides.
getting word? Why are they not getting a word in? It's honestly kind of fucking insulting to them. I
It is.
think they probably know more about this subject than anyone else. Now, and I think they should. I think you should listen to them. I think they should be on news stations and be asked what they need to, what their opinion on the matter is. Do you think there's bullshit? Do you think there's something to it? By my opinion, I think they should have had their protest and everything. But near that, I think a lot of this shit should have stopped once all those cops are fucking prosecuted.
Yeah. And well, no, eh, kind of. So sorry, it took me a
I
second.
know I said though they still should be protesting, and there should be something in place going after these cops that are crooked, that
Yeah.
are things. Like there's no excuse for him to have his fucking knee in the back of the guy's neck. There's absolutely no fucking excuse for that.
No, there isn't. There is no excuse. Um, I don't think the process should stop. For Black Lives Matter. Um, for defunding the police, I do not agree with defunding the police, but a police reform, yes, I agree with the police reform. I think the police need to be better trained, and I think they need to know how to handle situations better. And I don't think that they need to be defunded. Should they stop spending money on vehicles that they could use in war? Yes, I do think that.
That's a little weird. Don't we have the National Guard for a reason?
I don't want to get into that. My opinion about that is completely.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though we still have the military. I don't see why the police really need those vehicles.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying. No,
Yes.
so I really don't see the point in that. So yeah, I definitely say no. Tell those back to whoever the hell bought them, and put the funding to something else.
Yeah. Then that's the money that they're using to buy these military grade vehicles, and like I've seen these military grade vehicles, and they are military grade.
No, I've seen some photos too. I'm like what the fuck are they using that for? Like
And
usually when they have like an actual high risk like anything, they call them SWAT.
yeah.
Yeah, I just don't get why they would need something like that. SWAT doesn't drive that through the fucking wall of the building. I really don't
And
get that.
so I think they do need to be reformed. Um, People need to hold the cops more accountable for what they spend their money on, and we can view what they spend their money on. You can view what your cops spend the money on because that's public knowledge. You can look it up, and so it's it's up to us to also police the police. It is up to the people to police the government because we run the government. People forget that we run the police. People forget that.
You can't have a government without those people.
Yeah. And that's what the government and the police are doing. They're trying to, well, I don't want to say the police are doing, but that's what the government is doing. They're separating us because it's easier to control separated groups than it is to control one big group.
You want to know what actually kind of pissed me off? As soon as all this happened, you want to know what Netflix made sure was on?
What?
The fucking V for Vendetta movie.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Fucking hate that movie.
I love that movie so much.
It's so well. I think really, as soon as I saw the knife shit in it, as you know me, I'm like that is such bullshit. He's not even moving a muscle. Your whole body usually moves when you're doing any type of fucking training. So any of that, no. Reason why I did not like that movie, how it got put up, is because no, that's just gonna make more tension, by my opinion, because it influences people. That's the main thing, reason why people like that movie is the influence. But at the same time, though, here's a quote in it. that no, I actually disagree with. And the reason,
Remember the 5th of November, Johnny.
yeah, fuck you. But near that, no, he says no. It's what is it? The government shouldn't be afraid. Should be afraid of its people. That quote. No,
I believe that was from V for Vendetta.
yeah, no. He says no. It shouldn't be the people that are afraid of government. It's the government that should be afraid of its people. Why do I disagree with that? I don't think there should be any fear amongst either side because
Explain.
no, when you have that fear, with fear comes tension,
Yep.
and that's just going to cause more problems. So I
Johnny,
see why it should have that.
I'm gonna have to hold you right there. We're gonna take a quick break. Okay?
Yep.
Be right back. Hey guys, we are back. Sorry about that. They were testing the tornado sirens, and I don't think you guys wanted to hear that. So, sorry, I didn't have any cool sponsor video to show you or anything. You know, I'm not that big yet. But anyways, like we were talking about, police reform and all that fun stuff. Um, I think we are going to kind of transfer over to what we see in the coming future. And we're going to wrap this up very soon. Um, so to kind of talk about that, we kind of need to talk about again what's going on. And something that's going on that I think is good but bad in the same time, in the same sense, is ripping down all these statues. Um, Do I agree with ripping down statues? No, I do not. Um, do I agree that we should not have statues for racist people, like that looks like it's glorifying them? I do. I do not think that we should have statues that looks like it's glorifying people. Um, what do I think we should do with them? I think we should put them in a museum. Um,
Depends what what people are you talking about? Are you talking about the Confederate ones, or are you talking about the
yes. So, like the
oh,
Confederate
yeah,
statues, I think they should be in a museum. Um,
Andrew Jackson was one of our presidents, Tom.
yeah,
And
but
they tried to tear him down because he did own about 12 slaves, but near that, no, his story is
see that's like I don't mean every single Confederate statue. Like the ones of our
he
president.
is a Confederate statue. I'm just saying, no, I'm talking about obviously you're talking about the Robert E. Lee one, and
Yeah,
they also tore down the Ulysses S. Grant one.
not
He previously owned slaves. I know that a lot of people back then did.
yeah, it was the time, and you have to accept that. And is owning slaves good? No, it's a fucking terrible thing. Slaves are like owning a slave is terrible. Nobody should ever been a slave, and we all agree on that except for racists. Um, but I am a very firm believer is if you forget about history or you don't learn about history, you're doomed to repeat it. I'm not saying our generation will or the next generation will, but who to say in 5, 6 generations it's not going to be repeated because they're not learning about it. And that's a big thing. Now, people that we shouldn't be glorifying, fucking Christopher Columbus. He did nothing for America. Why do we have a Columbus Day? I don't fucking know. It is the most stupid thing ever. Sorry, that almost slipped, but it didn't. It is the most stupid thing ever that we glorify Christopher Columbus. Do I think every single one of his statues should be torn down? Yes. Should they be burnt? Oh, hell yeah. Fuck Christopher Columbus. He did nothing good. He didn't even discover America. And we glorify him. We should not. Forget Christopher Columbus. He is a terrible person. He did nothing good. But all these other Confederate statues, I do not think we should get rid of. They should be put in a museum.
I think
Maybe the Smithsonian, yeah,
but people
Smithsonian
also
Museum.
forget that the fact is, no, especially when we talk about the Confederacy, believe it or not all those people were slave owners.
Yeah,
All those people, no, they got up and went to war because it's a little bit hard a decision to make, especially when no, they're coming for your land. Now, and another thing now I keep hearing people bitching about tearing these down and and people would be like, well, they're fighting for their land, they're going to bring in the Native American thing. I'm really no, I'm someone who has Native American descent in them, but I'm getting really annoyed with hearing this excuse about Americans. America needs to apologize for this because you know, man, how many empires, so many countries were built off stealing the land of the less fortunate.
Every empire today.
Why the fuck is America the only ones that have to fucking apologize? There's absolutely no necessary thing for it. And no, I'm not 100% white. I do have Native American heritage. I do not think it. I just don't think it's right, and I'm really getting sick of that fucking excuse.
Yep.
Now, and you want to know something? There's a lot of Native American tribes that they don't register. They used to commit genocide against each other for land. No, and all this is not taught in schools.
No. So I remember back in elementary school, I got sent to the principal's office because um, we were learning about Native Americans and like Thanksgiving and all this fun stuff. And I looked at my teacher and I was like, so when this is like fifth grade, guys, so you gotta remember, like, they're not teaching us anything good. And,
Fifth grade.
and I was like, we're going to learn about the genocide of the Native Americans and how the programs kind of just wiped them out. And my teacher, who was a very diehard liberal, sent me to the principal's office. And I told him what happened. And he was like, well, you're not wrong. And I was like, I know I'm not wrong, but they're not teaching us what we need to learn. And he was like, you are right. And he bought me pizza and we chilled because I was right. And my teacher didn't let me speak in my class after that because I always wanted to learn the truth. I don't like learning fake facts. And I've always been like that. In seventh grade, I had a history teacher. It was the second semester, and I was like, "Hey, you know George Washington wasn't the first president?" And he was like, "No, but he was." And I was like, "I bet you at least a B in this class that George Washington wasn't the first president." And this is just like what they feed you. They want you to think that what they taught you is right. And this is just an example, right? And I wrote a 5-page paper how George Washington wasn't the first president. He was the first president of the Constitution. He was not the first president of the 13 colonies, though. And I ended up getting a B in the class and not doing any work because I proved my teacher wrong. And that's, you always need to do your own research and find stuff because what they teach you isn't always real. Well, isn't always the full facts. And I've read that they're getting rid of a lot of the negative stuff in history, like the Trails of Tears. They're getting rid of it. They are saying that the Native Americans, what's the word I'm looking for, peacefully and accepted the fact that they had to walk from the deep south to Oregon, and
Yeah,
nobody died.
yeah.
And it wasn't like that.
Yeah, no, this country has a major thing, especially in the school system, of rewriting history. But actually, no, I hear about that a lot around a lot of the world now. Like a lot, I guess supposedly, I'm not sure I heard this, but yeah, that I guess the British people rewrite World War II to say that Americans were as big of a player as they really were. I thought that was funny. But yeah, no, the whole statue thing, it really pisses me off. I don't think we should be tearing down our nation's history. And now people say, well, you're still learning in high school and all, in school and like, no, I'm like, they don't teach shit. No, I didn't learn most of the things I know about history actually from school. I actually already knew it, and I used to get kicked out of history class all the time. But yeah, that no, I think a lot of people are kind of not understanding why these statues are up. Now, oh well, Andrew Jackson or so and so owned slaves or something. Well, you guys also vandalized the Lincoln Memorial,
Yep.
and
And
then
he wanted to free slaves.
I keep hearing people trying to say no that he owned slaves. A man of poverty. No, his vice president Andrew Johnson, he did own about half dozen slaves, and there was tensions of it. They actually spoke of it in history. You know that they had tensions. Two of his closest friends actually did own slaves. Abe Lincoln was against it. No, but and that's something I'm seeing on Facebook because everyone's getting all their facts off social media.
Yep. And they don't look into it.
If you know something's on Facebook, you know it's definitely it's fucking true. Yeah, you know that. It's like really. So now people are starting to say that now, and it's kind of like okay, and then uh, for, I forget the name of the division, but there's a memorial for back in the Civil War for African Americans that there was like a division or a platoon or something that was all African
Yeah, I
American.
saw that.
They fucking vandalized it.
Yep.
So what was the point of that? That wasn't racist. It was
Nope.
pretty fucking racist that you guys decided to go and vandalize it. By my
Mhm.
opinion, I really don't get that. And you want to know something? It's probably because they don't know shit about history.
That is
They,
very true.
they have no clue and no. And people are always saying like no, especially I think it's funny when I hear liberals say, "Oh well, we should have guns." No, it's funny because didn't the Nazis take away the guns from the citizens?
And then they took away their speech, and then yeah, yeah, no, that's exactly
Yeah, a
what
lot
happened.
of these hardcore leftists, I don't view them as actual liberals. I view them usually as a communist. No, they have a lot of communist ideals. They're not even socialists anymore. No, communism is below socialism, by my opinion. And no, like just like they talk, oh well, the communists were our allies in World War II. Yeah. You know, Stalin. Yeah, what a fucking great guy he was. Yeah, no, fucking slaughtering a bunch of his own people, killed more people than fucking Hitler. But
Yep.
no, they bring that up. So no, the sad thing is that I don't see the tensions in this country going away anytime soon.
No, it's
That,
definitely
that
not going to go away in our lifetime. Um, Maybe if people start voting and teach their kids to vote, and people start learning history, and people actually learn the people's politics, it could possibly change in our kids' lifetime. If not theirs, then their kids' lifetimes. Um, do I see the United States getting better? Yes, I do. Um, do I see us ever being a socialist or communistic state? Nope, I don't see it. Because in order for that to happen, there would need to be a civil war because the the right would not allow it, and every every person that believes in our Constitution will stand up and fight for it because that's what America does. And the world will see us in this turmoil and they'll be like, oh, they're weak. But we're not going to be weak. All because we are fighting does not mean that we will not fight you too. And that's one thing I love about America. We are one giant family. We will sit here and we will shit on ourselves like there's no tomorrow. But as soon as another country does it, fuck that country. We don't give a fuck about you. And that's one thing I love about this place is it's you and your brother will sit there and you guys will fight all day long. And you guys will sit there and call each other names. But as soon as an outside source comes in and was like, you're a bitch, your brother's gonna stand up for you, right?
you're not allowed to do that. Now the thing is that no, honestly, I think a lot of modern day civilization, West, even outside of our country, I think a lot of it, in my opinion, I think it's crumbling. And there's a reason why I think that, and it's because now, so far, how long have you heard people chant, "We need world peace"?
Oh, forever.
I
Since
want,
the 60s,
want to know
at
why
least.
people. You want to know something? My opinion of world peace, it's a fucking pipe dream.
It is. There was,
But
as
one
long
day,
as there is money, oil, religion, and life, there will not be world peace.
conflict is built into human nature.
Yep.
And
Because we're animals.
another thing that is up with the reason why there is so many tensions is human population.
Yep.
It's increased so much, you're gonna fucking have more people who don't like each other,
Yep.
and that's just the way it is, and it's when it's going to continue to be. And eventually, something's going to happen. Right now, I think we're facing into what we just had that whole long period of America not fighting any major wars.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not done talking about the conflicts and stuff over the Middle East. I'm not talking about anything like that. But any major war since World War, I think we can agree that the last major thing was World War II and probably Vietnam. Probably Vietnam too. But near that, I'm talking about major wars. We haven't had
Okay.
a major war for a
I
very
mean,
long
the war on terrorism was a major thing. Um,
on a scale for America.
yeah, but
But
I would say World War Two.
but near that, no. So the entire time, a lot of people have been living peacefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, been conflicts in here with every modern day person's life and everything. I think no, there's so much tension right now is because a lot of people might be seeing that come to an end soon. Everybody's at each other's throats right now.
Yep.
There's a, an increased amount of crime right now,
Yep.
and people are scared. And it's just I think people are starting to see that. People need to wake up and know maybe we make it last a little bit longer, but eventually it's gonna end. It's gonna end. Every empire falls. Now, unfortunately, no, America is going to be in that too.
No,
But
no, I'm laughing for a different reason. Have you seen Hamilton?
no,
So everybody wants Hamilton banned from Disney, right? You know the Broadway play Hamilton. Um, I watched it the other day with my wife, and King George sings this wonderful song about how ocean rises and empires fall, and that's all I could think about when you said that. It's I love it, but as you were saying,
no, nothing lasts forever, and no, this is simply conflict. In when we yeah, and this is great that show that people are actually addicted to conflict because even at time of peace, how many people got up every day and I'm a Nietzsche fan, but one of the major problems with the human race is it's not the problem that presents itself to the people, but it's the person who presents himself amongst the problem. They make it their problem. They may find another reason to fight. You know, because they want purpose, something
yeah,
like that. You know? So it's just gonna keep. It's a vicious cycle. Let's just say that. So it's just gonna keep on going like that, and that's gonna be the end of it. Eventually, things may get more nasty than what they are, and with conflict, there's going to be a lot of violence. And that kind of goes into me just saying once again, no, I think people need to stop being so fucking soft. Now, I'm not just talking about physical strength. I'm talking about mental strength. No, I know way too many people that are just too mentally weak. They're too sensitive. That's just my opinion. Maybe it's just how I was raised, because I wasn't raised to be a little bitch about everything. I don't get insulted by every little joke, a little snicker.
yeah,
You know, he said that. I'm like, yeah, big fucking deal. You won't be the last to say it. And that's just the way it is. You know, I think a lot of this is actually tied to people being soft because they have to get together, they have to do some little new fucking movement. That eventually we'll have someone that goes into it that does it with their balls, fucking radicalize it like they do everything. Because every group eventually is radicalized. Every religion, there's always some type of radical.
yep,
There's radicals in both liberal and conservative beliefs. Now, the reason why there's terrorist groups is because some radical person had to fucking jump into the party and go. Next thing you know, he fucking starts saying everything. Everyone's like, yeah, this guy's onto something. You know, this is what happens every fucking time.
yep,
It it's a fucking cycle, and people kind of forget that. No, history repeats itself.
yeah,
Once again, tying into why fucking history is so goddamn important.
yeah.
Instead, no, we hash it up and everyone goes, history's in the past, it's not important. We're smoking another blunt.
But if you don't learn history, you're doomed to repeat it. And not everything in history should be repeated.
Well, at times though, I do say, though, there's people saying something about world order and all this old new group. I don't know. I could see some group trying to do that.
I mean, it's out. Look into it, man. It's definitely
I
a
can.
real thing.
I can. I don't feel like looking into it. My head's already full enough garbage. But near that, no. But near that, no. I could definitely see something like that happening.
My
No,
head's full of
fucking
lizard
group.
people because of you.
And you want to know something? Is everybody right now still gonna be fighting each other, even with these assholes over there trying to fucking
Yeah,
the evil fucking devil over there. The
yeah,
guy, the Pope's gonna be involved in
yeah.
it. But yeah, that this is going to be the same fucking thing over and over again. It's conflict. It just increases every year. Unfortunately, once again, with coincidental chain is very high in American elections. Every fucking time, there's always something around an American election. I think last time it was had something to do with feminism. Now this time it's racial. They're gonna see if they can use this to get Kanye in.
No, you are right. Um, last time it was sexism
Yeah,
because
and Hillary was running.
yeah, because Hillary was running.
And
Um,
now they got Kanye who just announced he's running for president.
there was a thing saying Tom Cruise is running for president.
That's a scary fucking thought. I don't want a Scientologist in fucking office.
Tom
I
Cruise got my vote.
I'd vote fucking Kanye before his ass. Yeah, fucking hey man. Have you heard some fucking Tom Cruise is out there, man?
Is he?
Yeah, he's a Scientologist, dude.
Oh, he definitely got my vote.
What the fuck is the matter with you? You know,
Scientology, new religion of America.
funny, some dumbass on my fucking friends list on Facebook. I don't even know why they're still on there. But near that, she's like making this post about saying, no, fucking anti-Trump, vote for Kanye. You're so fucking stupid. Don't you know fucking Kanye's friends with Trump?
Yeah, him and Trump.
Yeah, dude, they're tight, man. They're like, yo, man, what can we do at the White House? He's like, yeah, man. Go watch some of my videos. Like,
Man,
no, I never know. Never know. No, Kanye might win there. You might fucking find out he's a good president. I don't know much about him. I know he's a little bit stuck on himself. But you want to know something? If I
he's a
was
little
famous,
crazy.
yeah, well,
He's out there.
that's a little bit crazy too. He said some pretty fucking outrageous shit.
Yeah,
Just grab it.
doesn't make that good of music, but it doesn't make good shoes or good clothes.
Yeah, you want to know something, man? If I was some famous pop singer, I don't know, some shit might start going to my head. I might start thinking I'm a genius as well. I'm a genius.
All right, Johnny. But that's all the time we have for today. I appreciate you coming on and sharing your opinions. Again, I love hearing people's opinions. It's always good. So thank you very much for joining me. And guys, if you like this, if you want to share your opinion, I'm always open to opinions. Comment below. Send me a message on what you want to hear next. I'm always open for suggestions. I will play devil's advocate with anything. I do not care about views, like people's views on stuff. If you want me to explain why I think pigs can fly, I will do it, and I will make it the best damn video you've ever seen. Trust me, I can play devil's advocate with anything. So, guys, if you like this, make sure you give me a thumbs up or you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Guys, thank you very much for joining us, and I'll see you next time.